Okay, if I can have everybody's attention please. Welcome to Which Course Expo this morning. And our next seminar is about to start right now, presented by Mary Curran from the Centre for Professional and Personal Development. And Mary's going to tell us all about how to go for your goals. So I'd like you to give her a warm welcome now, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin, very much. Hello, everybody. My name is Mary Curran, and as you know, I'm a life and business and personal executive coach, trainer and supervisor. Now today we're just talking about goals and what might stop you from achieving your goals. Because you can go to a coach and you can get coached on achieving something, but sometimes there are other reasons why you don't achieve your goals. So I'm going to start on that now. Just going to read this out to you. Most people can't see how it is possible to get what they want, so they don't even let themselves want it. Today you will learn how to set long-lasting, sustainable goals, what gets in your way, dealing with your competing commitment, and using the smarter model to complete your goal strategy. So what happens sometimes is the how gets in the way. What we mean by that is we frighten ourselves about the how, because the how is the detail. But once in coaching you get clarity, the how becomes very easy, because all it is a strategy. But we get stuck in the how, so we don't move on from there. So this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about setting goals. So I think I handed out a piece of paper to everybody there. I just want you for a minute to think in your head about yourself and every area in your life. There's many areas in your life. You have, I think I have it here, the wheel. Sorry, I'll go back. So there's many areas in your life. I won't have time to go through this today, but just pick an area on the wheel and think about and say to yourself, for this little session, it's only going to be 25 minutes or whatever, I'm going to set a goal around it. Whatever area you feel you want to set a goal around. The great thing about coaching is we place reality on the table in front of our client. And what we mean by that is that if you say an area is around 2 or 3 and you're saying to the coach, I want it to be a 6 or an 8, well, there's a reason for it. Otherwise, it would be a 6 or an 8. So what we say in NLP is that behind every result lies a decision, and behind that decision lies your value system. But most of us walk around not even aware of our value system. We don't even know what our personal values are, let alone our core values. So how then does people go and set goals and find that after they have achieved them that they're not happy inside because they're conflicting with their values? So I, again, would love to spend more time on this, but I'm going to just mention the 2 or 3 types of values. There's global values, which are outside there in the world. Most of us want harmony and peace. The core values is what I want you to think about before you name your goal. So the core values are the things that you want to spend time on, or the people that you want to spend time with. They are the things in life that you want to spend more time with, or that you're already spending time on. So examples of core values would be anything from a fulfilling career, friends and family, travel, health. So we all have different core values. What you must realise is, though, it's very important to know what they are before you actually achieve your goal. So going back then to where we were, I just want to go back to 1 or 2 of the slides. Just think for a moment then, I'll be asking somebody to participate in setting a goal in a little while. So short term could be 6 months, or you could want to set one for 6 months to 2 years, or 2 years to 5 years. So when you're thinking about the goal now that you want to set, I want you just to go into your mind and wonder why you have not achieved it so far. Are there any doubts, limiting beliefs? Are there any fears, or denial or resistance? There has to be a reason, otherwise it won't be achieved by now, or else it's a time reason, and that can happen as well. So what we talk about is successful people focus on the outcome, not the process. Ask yourself the following: do I work through my weaknesses or my power? And this is really important to think about. Do I work through my weaknesses or my power? When I start to set a goal, do I immediately start criticising myself and talking to myself and bringing myself down, or do I look at my power and my strengths and go with that? Next comes the gremlin when you're coming to set a goal. So a lot of people that come for coaching have procrastinated. Many people here procrastinate. Yeah. It's the thief of life. It's a waste. And anyone, believe it or not, that procrastinates don't value their time. Your time is precious and you don't value it if you procrastinate. So the gremlin will say things like, aren't you all right with the car you have? Or, are you in a steady, stable job, stay where you are? That's the gremlin. And remember, it's the little voice in your head that stops you from moving on and being your best potential self. And also remember, you have external gremlins. We call them the energy vampires. So they're the ones on the outside that says, oh, you're too late, or you're too old to be studying that now, you're crazy. That's the external gremlin as well. Where did it come from? Well, the internal saboteur can come from parents, teachers, siblings, friends, workmates, or even the environment. The other thing then to be aware of, which you don't have a lot of time to spend on today, is self-limiting beliefs. So they come from past experiences. I often ask people, are you living now in past realities? Because a lot of people blame the past and the reason they're stuck in the now. And just become aware as well of the drama triangle, Hoffman's drama triangle, where every adult has spent time. And that consists of the rescuer, the persecutor and the victim. And just think for today, because mindfulness has become very, very popular, and it's all about taking personal responsibility for your life, where you've landed and where you are today, instead of blaming your brother, your sister, the boss, or whoever you want. So when you learn to take personal responsibility, you realise you have choices in life. You can move off the drama triangle and you can start moving into being proactive and achieving your goals. So this brings me to a very important part here, which is the compete and commitment. It's a very interesting template. So what I'd like you to do is to imagine a time in your life where you hear yourself talking to your friend, it could be now, it could be in the past, and you're saying, here I am 5 years later and I still haven't achieved that goal. So the complaint here is, I'm 5 years on and I'm still size 16 and I wanted to be size 12. Let's give that as an example. The goal is, by Christmas, I'm going to be down to size 12. However, the compete and commitment is where every one of us have 100% energy. So if you think about setting the goal and being down to size 12 by Christmas and you give it a 6, however, if you go to the compete and commitment, which is the reasons you're not achieving your goal, which can be anything from, well, I want to get down to size 12, however, I meet my friends every Friday night and we go out and we have a few drinks and we always eat dessert, and I'm not giving that up just to get down to size 12. So if the energy on the compete and commitment is an 8 and the goal that you want to achieve is a 6, you can go forever to your coach or whoever you like, you're never going to achieve the goal. And then sometimes assumptions come in and play a part as well. So the example I gave, which is a true story, is where a man came to me. He was complaining that he hadn't given up drinking. He said that he was told by his doctor he needed to, so that's the complaint. The commitment and goal that he wanted to set was to cut back on what he was drinking and cut down in moderation on what he was drinking. His compete and commitment was that on a Friday night he went out with his lads. They went out, they'd been doing it for years, for a few drinks. He wasn't giving that up. Then he had another reason, another competing commitment on Saturday, and then he had another one during the week where he plays golf and he always went for a few drinks afterwards. So he had very high competing commitments that he was stopping him from achieving his goal. But also, let's go to the assumptions, which were even stronger with him. His assumption was, I'm no fun with that drink. I'll have no fun if I don't drink. I'm too shy. I don't talk only when I have a few drinks. So all of these assumptions, by the way, which are lies that we tell ourselves all of the time, is stopping him from achieving his goal. So there's a lot more in setting goals than one realises. And on that note now, before we set goals, it's very important as well to be in a positive frame of mind. It's very important to use proactive language rather than reactive language. It's very important to know specifically the goal that you're going to set. So I just want somebody in the audience that has a real genuine goal that they want to achieve to come up. And I'm just going to show you one or two things about and talk about language for a minute around setting your goals. So could I have a volunteer, please? Yeah. I shouldn't have laughed. You shouldn't have laughed. What's your name? Sorry.
Helen, yeah.
Hello, Helen. How are you? Do you have a genuine goal that you'd like to set?
Genuine goal, yeah, to lose some weight.
All right. Okay, let's go with it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Have you somebody over there that can write down the steps when we're going through it? Because you can't write while you're here, if you know what I mean. Yeah, okay. So, just for a minute, just to talk about language as well. When Stephen Covey is very good at talking about the given the end in mind, and he talks about when you set the goal out there into the vision, into the future, and work backwards, you achieve it far quicker than you would if you work towards it step by step, because the how gets in the way. So also your language around setting the goal is vital, so you must use positive frames around setting the goal. Now I'd like you to think about when you make a mistake or when you fall down in achieving your goal, what happens to you? You go, you're standing just behind me a little bit.
That light.
Oh, sorry. Go. Yeah. So go.
From the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. That's all right. All right. I'll stand back.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, just for a minute, think about when you make a mistake. What do you say to yourself? Do you tell yourself, "You're stupid. My God, I could have seen it coming. I should have looked it up more, whatever." Or how do you treat yourself? Because whatever way you treat yourself, if you are your own worst critic, you're going to be a horrible person to other people as well, because you'll be as hard on them as you are on yourself. So looking at the language you use is very important. So, what's your name again? Sorry. Helen. So if I said to Helen, can you try and pick this up for me, Helen? So you picked it up. You didn't try. Because try is an example of an inaction word. So the friend that says, I'll try and be at the party, never shows up. Then we have other words like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this. So when I'm setting goals and I'm hearing the language coming in, well, that's the goal and I have to do this, I'm going, no, hold on, hold on, hold on. If you're feeling the energy of having to do this, you're not in control. Somebody else is holding the gun to your head. Because a have to is giving you no choice. And if you go to set a goal with a have to language, you're not going to achieve it. And if you do achieve it, it'll take you forever because you will be down about it. Okay, so just for a minute I want to give an example of what I mean by this. What we say in NLP is that every word we use affects our emotions to bring about different results. So every single word we use creates a thought that creates energy. So if you go around talking negatively, you go down. You feel down, your energy goes down. Now we could show you that on calibration machines, but we don't have them today. But what I can show you is a muscle test, which only takes 2 minutes, Helen. And it's where I'm going to get Helen to say a sentence with the word have to in it. And it will show the difference in the energy she has and when she changed it to something else, which I'm not going to tell her now. Okay, Helen, can you bring to mind something that you have to do by the end of this week and you're not looking forward to it? You know, you have to do it, but it's not something that you enjoy. Can you bring to mind something?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So can you just stand here for a second, Helen, and just put out one arm, whichever arm you like. Okay, and we're going to practice first, okay? So I'm just pressing down with 2 fingers on your arm like that, and you're going to press up against me with all your strength. Can you do that? Okay. So I'm pressing down, and you press up with all your strength. Great. Okay, you've got it. Okay. Now, can you say out loud what it is you have to do, and use the word I have to do by the end of the week? And when you're saying it out loud, I want you to press up against me, and I'm pressing down. Are you ready? Okay.
I have to clear out the shed.
Okay, all right. Now just shake your hand out. And now say the exact same sentence with, I choose to clear out the shed. And put your hand up again. And resist me as well, okay? When you say it, okay?
I choose to clear out the shed. Yeah, I see that.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, if you were to take one thing away from the day is, choice gives you anything you want in life. It's all about choice. We are here today because of the choices we've made. We're also here today because of our belief system. And we're here today because we're meant to be where we are right now. So, what's the goal you'd like to achieve?
Lose about 2 stone by Christmas.
Okay, here's an example of a wording of a goal that doesn't work. Because when you tell the unconscious mind that you're going to lose something, guess what the unconscious mind does? It looks for every way in the world to put it back and find it for you and put the weight back on you. That's why diets don't work. So that's it. So, the first thing you're going to do is, the naming of the goal has to be in the present tense. It has to be positive and future focused, okay? And I'll explain what I mean. So, first of all, could you visually pick a picture in your home when you looked really well in some outfit? Have you got, I'm sure you have one of those. Could you, this one call of action that she needs to do if you're writing down for her, can you take it out and put it in front of your wardrobe, on the front of it as you open it every day? Okay, that's the first step. But that's the step now, I've gone ahead of myself. So the goal is going to be, I am now, what way would you like to be, did you say? Okay, so we're going to name the goal first. So I am now 9 stone and the date is?
24th of December.
And can I be really specific and say what year?
Oh yeah. 2015.
Okay, so can you completely say the goal now?
I am 9.5 stone on the 25th of December 2015. I get that, yeah. That you have to be it.
You have to become it. You have to become it and name it, and then you work towards it. Okay. So that's the naming of the goal. Now, measurable is the one people fall down in, because whatever gets measured gets achieved. So if you don't measure it, it doesn't get achieved. You're talking a load of crap, pie in the sky ideas. So what are the steps, Helen, you're going to take?
Eat less.
Eat less. Eat less is a negative. Less is away from the goal. Okay. So let's reframe that into a positive statement.
Eat in a manner that will achieve this, will match this idea I have.
Okay, that's too vague. It's not going to be achieved because what sort of a manner is that? So I'm going to help you. Don't worry, I'm just challenging you here. Okay, so can we start with a step like, I am now looking into what food is healthy, and I'm going to start. I'm going to go out. Now we're going to set loads of steps. The first one is I'm going to research what food I like that is healthy. Could that be a step for you?
I know what foods are healthy. I know what I should be eating.
Oh, typical. This is what happens in coaching. You know, we don't tell you anything. Every client that comes to you already knows. So what we do is we transfer the knowing into action. So this is what we're about. So what has been stopping you if you know what you should be eating? And remember, we make excuses all the time with the shoulds. I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I know I should be doing the other. So can you tell me what is stopping you at the moment?
I wish I knew. I'd have done it a long time ago if I knew that.
And you do know, because the mind always knows everything. So what is it that you're not doing, and what is it that you are doing?
I don't want to give up the sugary stuff, the bad foods.
Okay, so the pleasure at the moment is the sugary foods and you don't want to give them up. So you have a competing commitment here. The sugary foods is carrying a higher energy of enjoyment and pleasure than the goal you want to reach. Well, Helen, if that's the case, you're never going to reach it. So do you want to get accountable and serious?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you going to do? Can we start again with the steps?
I am going to eat properly in the way that I know will achieve this goal.
You see, you're avoiding healthy all the time. Healthy foods is not coming in. Like eat properly is too vague again. You see, it's your unconscious resisting this, but this is okay. We're going to get there. So can we start again? Okay. So the first step is.
I'm really at a loss to know if I knew what to say, I'd have done it years ago.
Okay, well I help you with it then. Yeah. So the first step you were going to say there is I'm going to research the healthy foods that I want to eat.
Yeah.
But remember as well, when you give something up, you must replace it by something else. Because if you don't give something up, if you don't replace it, what happens is you're going to miss it. And you feel deprived.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Okay, so can I invite you to think about what foods would give you the same taste and sugary, let's say, pleasure as what you're eating at the moment that could be healthy. Have you ever looked in or researched those?
Yeah, fresh vegetables and fruit and nice fresh fish and...
And have you enjoyed eating them? Okay, so could the first step be then that you're going to go out and do a shop and buy the fresh fish and fresh vegetables?
I could, yeah. Actually, if I didn't bring in the rubbish, it would help.
Okay. So I'm hearing you say there, if you could stop bringing in the rubbish, it would help. So who's in charge of you doing that?
Me.
So are you going to help yourself in achieving this goal?
Yeah.
I think you can do it, yeah. Okay, so the first step is so we're not going to go to the negative, not bring them in. You're just going to say, I'm going to go out and research and shop and buy healthy foods. What's your next step then? So you're doing that now, you have the good food in the house. What's your next step?
The way I feel right now is to make the advantages better than what I'm losing. That's what I picked up when you were talking.
Yeah.
That.
So you want the pleasure to get better than the pain. Yeah, exactly. And in order for you to do that, you're going to start enjoying your new work your new lifestyle, and you're going to say to yourself, this is more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can help you form an affirmation around that will build you up.
We get that now, I know it's
Yeah. Okay, so what else do you need to do?
Get fit, get a bit fit.
Yeah. Okay, and this is very important as regards getting fit. You must pick something that you enjoy doing. So what would it be for you?
Well, I promised myself I'm going to walk the dog from tomorrow.
Okay. So can you write that one down? Now, we need to get even deeper into the step here. So how often in a week, in 7 days, are you going to walk the dog? And for how long?
Every day for half an hour. Not Saturday because I shop and I walk around the shops on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Sunday I'll take a break.
Okay. So and does that sound good for you? Okay. So is it realistic? Yeah. So you're going to walk the dog for half an hour every day, except Saturday and Sunday. You're taking 1 day's shopping. Okay. Anything else you can do?
No.
So you're looking at the food. You're looking at the food. You're eating healthy, and you're doing a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you at the moment, do you feel that's enough?
Something else, I fast for 2 days. I've started doing that.
And
That's really good, yeah. I'm finding that very helpful.
So can we throw that step in as well, to continue fasting for 2 days? Okay. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. What can you replace, let's say sugary, I'm just thinking of yourself now, sugary. So you're eating the healthy food, we know. But what can you replace that by? Is there anything sweet that you can have?
The only thing I've ever found is fruit. A sweet orange or something like that.
Okay. And could you commit to having that after you eat your lovely healthy meal?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah? Okay, great, okay. So is there anything else then?
No, the main thing I've learned is to balance up, the pain, as you said, with the gain. That not to make eating sugar and the wrong foods better than eating healthy foods.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's always been. There's always been the attraction to the unhealthy stuff. And I always gave in, and this has been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah. So it sounds like there's a lot of patterns that needs to be broken. And any habit that you have takes 27 days to break. Yeah, so what we can do is form an affirmation that will help you along the way. So anything from, I am now living a happy, healthy and wealthy lifestyle. How would that be?
That sounds real good.
And just visualise that the weight has gone off your body and into your pockets in money. So the weight now is in your pockets as money. Okay, so does that affirmation sound good for you? Yeah, so I'm now living a happy, healthy and wealthy lifestyle. Okay.
Okay, thanks very much.
Can I just ask you one thing at the end? On a scale of 0 to 10 now, how strong do you feel about achieving this?
I'd say about a 9.
You're genuinely serious?
Genuinely, yeah. That one thing I learned about balancing has been really useful.
So it moved you emotionally. It moved you emotionally, the pain and pleasure moved you, and you realise the pain is not worth the pleasure. So I'm going to turn it around and have the pleasure, and then I'll have the lovely... So the goal then is, just to name the goal one last time, is I'm now
9.5 stone. And it's Christmas morning. 2015, 25th of December 2015.
Brilliant.
I'm as fit as a fiddle because I've been walking my dog.
Brilliant, okay. Can you give Helen a clap? Thank you very much, Helen. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, that's an example, and that's a big challenge for Helen. And I really believe she's going to achieve that goal. I really do, Helen. I really do. I think all that was happening was the pain and pleasure was equal, and you were in the comfort zones, you weren't moving. So it's up to a coach to move the emotion, because without emotion being moved, no action takes place. So that's exactly what we have done. And I know it was a little upsetting at times, but it was worth it. Okay, thanks very much, Helen. So I just want to say thank you all very much, and if anybody has any questions before I finish. Okay, well you can call around to the stand or just around there if you want to ask me anything about anything. So I want to say thank you all very much, and Helen, thank you very much.